Channel. If you have not like and subscribe the channel, please like and subscribe the channel. This is the place where you can learn Microsoft Intune. Today in this video I'm going to share you about the Microsoft Team on Android devices. So you should not be confused about Microsoft Team applications. So there is a Microsoft Team Android devices which is dedicatedly built and certified by Microsoft. So as you can see on my screen, this is the article which is available on Microsoft site. I will not read the entire article. I'll just quickly show so that you will understand detail. So if you are managing your MTR devices, right, Microsoft Team on Android devices, then you should migrate your devices to AOSP device management. What is AOSP? You can go and search on my channel, you will find it. What is Android open source platform? Okay, it's the full form of Android open source platform. So you can see here the Microsoft Team Android will be commencing auto update for firmware in order to migrate to Intune AOSP device management starting from May 15th 2025. So today is 6th of May. It will start from 15th of May 2025. And these firmware updates are not pauseable, so you can't pause it, you can't stop it. Devices will simply take them following the phases set in the Team Admin Center. So you can see the validation, general and final. So please ensure that all the pre-requirement for AOSP device management, Android open source platform device management migration are completed for your organizations to ensure a smooth migrations, because your devices may sign out during the migrations if the prerequisites are not carried out properly. You can see this table below for the schedule for auto update for your devices. Why I am showing here? So that you should not wonder or find which devices type or OEM you're using. So you can see if you are using any of these devices, right, rooms devices, panel or phones, and from any like OEM, like you can see the company Cisco, Zebra, Logitech, you can see. So it start from June. You can see the dates here. Auto update will start from June. So starting from May 15th and annually. So if you are using Poly, these devices are, it will be in May 31st. So Poly phones, room, panel. So any of these devices, Yearlink is also one of the best. And so any of these phone, panel or rooms devices, if you are using, so your firmware will be available starting from 15th May. So as a Microsoft, they have announced that Microsoft Team Android devices, it's not an application, it's Microsoft Team Android devices, it's hardware devices, will be moving to Android, as I mentioned, moving to Intune Android open source projects device management later this year. And this management will be the MDM platform for team devices going forward. This will move to bring a more reliable experience and an improving deployment experience for the admin. It will serve as the platform for future innovation and richer management scenario for Microsoft Team Android, like as I mentioned, team rooms, team panel, team phones and team display. These are the hardware devices. I have already made video on how you can migrate and create a AOSP policy. If you're not able to find, you can just search. I'll put this link. If you put AOSP here, Android team, so you can see here. So the video number is MS247. You can open this video and you can search it, right? AOSP, I think I have made it. So you can search AOSP device management. What is AOSP device management? Is a replacement for legacy Android device administration solution used to managing team devices. So if I show you quickly in the Microsoft Intune portal, if you go here, go to the Android and go to enrollment, and you see here, so earlier we were using the Android device administration, right? And this has been deprecated. Now we are using Android Enterprise, these four profile, right? And for managing the Microsoft Team devices, we are using Android open source project. So whether you want user associated or userless devices, of course user associated, then you can manage the corporate owned user devices where built-in Android open source code without managed Google management system. So why you using AOSP? So where the devices, whether Polycom or Cisco, those devices, or in China specifically, if those devices cannot access the Google services, right, manage Google services, GMS, which is called GMS, then you can use AOSP, where GMS is accessible, where from which if in some country or some devices GMS is allowed, then you can use this any of these four profile. Hope it's clear for you. If not, then just search on my channel how you can configure Android Enterprise and OSP profile. And this mandatory migration will take place over the several months and will start until Q4 2024 and continuing into H1 25, right? So we have taken a great care of to minimize the end user IT impact with this migration, but there is a action required. It's in bold for you as a being as an IT admin. If you are managing your devices, we already know, because once the firmware will upgrade, you must meet the pre-requirement so that end user will not notice difference in device functionality. So there are two parts of successful migrations. You have to create an enrollment profile, compliance policy, right? So as I mentioned, I have already made video with user associated and user less devices. It's very simple. And then once you create, and the devices management, AOSP device management capable firmware release in the team admin center, you will need to install the firmware update for each of the supported team devices, and then firmware will automatically unenroll the devices from the device administration and enroll the devices with AOSP device management using the enrollment profile created. So what you have to do, first, if you have not migrated, you have to create the profile here and then upgrade the firmware from the Android from the team management, and once the firmware update will automatically, it will unenroll the devices from the device administrator and automatically re-enroll the devices with AOSP device management. The entire process will be done while the device remains signed in the teams. These firmware updates will be made available for team admin center, right? And allow you time being as an IT admin to slowly migrate your devices. Update will switch to the automatic for those with large quantity of the devices. You can always go, this is the steps by in steps. You have any FAQ, you can, I'll put this link, you can always go and refer. These are the some of the team environment that were previously supported but are now end of life, which you may still have in your environment. Those legacy devices will be not migrated. So these devices, if you are having it, it will not be migrated. You can always go through this process, this FAQ, and read it so that you can understand devices. So suppose if you are a new customer to Microsoft Team devices, want to skip Android devices, of course we want to thank you for purchasing an Microsoft Team devices, but ensure the stability, supported and positive experiences. We have limited AOSP DM to subset of preview customers with existing Team devices. We ask all the new customer to please use Android device administrator until AOSP DM is generally available. So currently it's not for the new customer, but if you already have, because AOSP is not generally available for managing Microsoft Team devices, so you have to use Android device administrator until it will get available for generally. So I hope you have learned and read this FAQ to understand more in detail. Till then, thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.